Hey, everybody, your designers are here.
I'm Anita at Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at My Soulful Home. And we have tips and tricks and decorating advice for you today. So let's get started.
Today is episode 201, Little Tools and Gadgets That Make Life Better.
And the show notes for today's episode can be found at decoratingtipsandtricks.com/201.
I hate to sort of admit this, but I really love little tools and gadgets, and I love anything that can be digital. So this is
Why
really
is this
fun.
shameful?
I know, because, if I can measure something with a laser measure and not have to get out my tape measure, I love it.
Well,
and
me
I
too.
am so not a gadget girl.
I know.
I'm like, I think my foot is 12 inches long. And, I can do that with a rubber band and a rock. It's not a problem.
A little duct tape will fix this.
Exactly.
Hey,
and
a little
I use
duct
toothpaste.
tape fixes everything. That's right, and toothpaste.
Right, but in my engineering background, I love little electronic things. I'm fascinated with new technology. I'm fascinated with how things are made and how little tools kind of function. So, yeah, I really like them a lot.
I love the idea of it. Not like the first time I got a Fitbit. Oh my gosh, I thought it was the most marvelous thing in the world.
But I will say, I will not buy a gadget just to buy it. Because there's a ton of gadgets that are really out there that are crappy. So
that's true.
I'm not for buying gadgets just because it looks cool.
For the gadgetry of it.
Right. I really look at it and go, am I really going to use this? And if I don't really think I'm going to use it, I'm not buying it because I don't want a drawer full of 100 things that I just need a knife for.
Yeah. Well, that's so true.
Yes,
I have to say, that's probably what I'm feeling too.
Practical. Yeah.
I don't like the storing of all the stuff. And certainly if you get something and it's made badly and it doesn't work. So that's why we're doing this podcast today, to give you an idea of ones that we have tried and we find to be really, really useful. When I started to think about doing this podcast, when this episode popped up on our spreadsheet, I was like, I'm going to have nothing to say, which would be amazing, wouldn't it be? But
I would be
I'm not saying anything.
Don't worry, I've pulled through and I have plenty to share. So,
good.
I never
so
doubted you. Let
you.
me just say that, okay?
I was like, wow, I use that. Oh yeah, I like this thing. Oh, we just got that. Okay. So anyway, and a lot of these things we can put links in the show notes if they, or they exist where you can purchase them on the internet and whatnot. So we'll do that for you guys.
Why don't you start, Kelly?
Oh, okay. So one thing that I have not purchased myself, but I am a happy recipient of and user of, is an internet mesh network plugin. Now that sounds really complicated, right? But really what it is just this little thing that almost looks like, dare I say, and I don't have them, a Glade Solid. Those things you can plug in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's kind of what it looks like, because it just plugs into an outlet in the wall. And maybe it's slightly bigger than that. It's probably the size of a silver dollar pancake. And it is a little boost, if you will, for your internet.
Oh.
So if there are sort of dark spots internet-wise in your house, which we have because we have, a lot of smaller rooms with walls and whatnot.
Right.
So you just plug one of these into an outlet that where it can be sort of near where the Wi-Fi is coming from and where you want to be. And wow, what a difference. So they're called Eero, EERO, and I'll put the link in the show notes. It's about
this is a network extender. So, and this
kind
is a particular,
it's an extender.
Right,
They're calling it a mesh, like a mesh network, because it kind of, it kind of fills in where there might be a gap, like so it does like a little bit overlap and weaves
so
it together.
I'm just saying this is a type of network extender. So,
yes.
And I have definitely, I'm not sure I've used that brand, but I have used network extenders. They're very, very helpful, and they can help you with those dead spots in your room. So I'm agreeing with you. I think this is, if you have dead spots in your house, you really need to look into these.
Yeah. And I have my favorite spot in the living room that I like to try to sit in the living room with my computer. And I like to sit next to the little end table so I can put my tea or what have you. And that such a dead spot and I would getting so frustrated. Why do I keep getting kicked off? And then Peter, my tech genius, said, let's get one of these and plug it in over there.
Yeah, It does help.
And it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are great if you need, or some people in their neighborhood, there are areas that are not so great. It will help that too.
That's good to know. This is so low tech, but it's so awesome. Are dimmer switches on every single light switch I have. I've got a dimmer switch on.
Me too, baby.
Well, while you're on the light switch, and I so agree with you on the dimmers, a programmable light switch. If there's something wired to your light, like for example, your porch lights, you can put this on, you wire it on where your switch was, and you program it so that your light on your porch or whatever comes on automatically whenever you set it to go off.
Oh, that's a good one.
I've used these so many at our old house, and I was just thinking, I really should put this on the new house. So 5 years later, but they're great to use. And I'm glad I was thinking about this because I'm going to go buy some.
Could you put a link? I'd love to see that.
Yeah. Does that have to be hardwired?
Yes, you do hardwire it. Yes. But
so would someone who couldn't do that have to get an electrician?
Well, I've never hired an electrician to do it. So, I mean, yeah, you're just wiring it on. I don't know. Yeah, it's easy.
Okay. Can you hotwire a car?
Haven't tried that.
Well, you might be able to.
But if it's something it is electricity. So
be careful.
I think I probably am technically supposed to say you should hire an electrician.
Yeah. So disclaimer.
Err to the side of being conservative and safe.
We don't want anyone's singed eyebrows.
No. If you're not experienced with wiring, I would get someone else to do it.
And here's another thing that I really love. If you cook, I have a digital meat thermometer, and my old thermometers used to have like a cord that came out from the thermometer in like a roast or something out to like the countertop. But I have one that you stick in the roast and it shows up. Everything shows up on your smartphone.
Whoa.
Wow.
So it tells you when it's done, it's ready, the perfect temperature, you program it, and that's just let it go.
So it has an app that goes with it?
It does.
What's it called?
Oh, I'd have to go and look. So I'll have it for the show notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
I just was going to say it's so easy. If I can program it, anybody can program it.
Okay. Well, while we're talking about these electronic cool devices, and I won't go into detail because I've already talked about it on another episode that we'll link to that gives you more information, but the Ring doorbell I am in love with because you can see a video of who comes to your door, whether they ring the doorbell or not. It's motion activated. And if someone rings the doorbell, you're notified on your phone, even if you're far away. And I had a package that I needed that was just thrown over our gate rather than put on the porch. And I could see it sitting there. And so I told Evie, and I wasn't home. I was like, go pick up that package out in the front porch out in the front yard. So it's really nice to be able to see what's going on.
Well, it came so highly recommended by the two of you. We just got this weekend 2 Ring doorbells, front and back door, and we got 2 spotlight cameras.
Oh,
did you
wow.
hook them
You guys
up
got
yet?
right on it.
Yeah. Well, I told you I'd been thinking about it for so long, and we have spotlights because, there is just nobody around here. So, that just adds an extra layer to our security system. And we're charging the battery as we speak. So hopefully maybe tonight or tomorrow when Bob gets home from work, he'll feel like putting at least the Ring doorbell in. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think you're going to love it. So I'm excited to get the
too.
report from you later on that.
Can I give you a very low tech?
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a little gadget. It's those 3M command mounting strips. I have them in every size. I have like literally a Tupperware container filled with them because you never know when you're going to need them. And especially I love them at Christmas time because they can hang up anything. You can put lights anywhere and it looks great.
Okay. Can you explain? Because I see those all the time. And that's something that I would not buy. I would just, I'm drawn to it because I want to see how I cannot damage my walls. But I'm repelled also because I think it's something I'm just going to have, sitting in a Ziploc bag and I'm not going to use.
No, I'll
I'm
tell you,
afraid it's going to fall off. Does it really hold up?
I have so many things hung with that I can't even tell you.
So what do you do? It has
like two little pieces. You take it apart. You just have to make sure you take an alcohol wipe and wipe the wherever we're going to hang it. Let's say you want to hang some long necklaces. You don't want them to be all tangled up in your jewelry box or your drawer. So you're going to hang them on the back of your closet door. My daughter, all of her jewelry is hanging on command hooks, so organized. On the back, she has a double door closet on the back of her side. It's beautiful. And you just press these things on and they have to stick there for a little while. And then you can hang stuff on it. And when you want to take them off, there's a little a tab at the bottom that you hold the command hook and you pull the tab. And it's almost like a putty or something, or a sticky thing. It's not really sticky, that literally pulls real long and it comes off totally clean. Now, I have made the mistake of trying to rip it, not how the package said, and I have ripped some of the drywall off my wall because I didn't do it right. And I did that in the beginning. But then once you learn how to do it, I mean, they're wonderful. If you want to hang lights like down around your mantle and just need something to hook them on, use the command strips underneath your mantle. You can't see them. Or to hang greens outside, they have them for
I have to buy a package and try it out because I was like, I don't believe that's going to come off my wall.
It truly is wonderful. And we hang up our greens that go around our door because they have them for the outside. We use that.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. You know, we're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants.
I like the disc adhesive plate hangers.
Yeah, I like those too.
Mm-hmm. And they're just yellow and they're round and they have a tab at the top. and you get the back wet. You just have to make sure you follow the directions carefully. But I wouldn't put an heirloom on it. Like I have a handprint of mine from when I was 5 years old. Like I made it in kindergarten.
Oh.
I don't think I'd hang that up with it, but I'm not saying that it wouldn't stick, but that's something that I just once it's gone, it's gone. But you have to make sure it's dried completely and all the edges have adhered. And I hang all my plates up with that now that I put up on the wall.
Huh. Yeah, I use those too.
Makes my life better.
Yeah, I agree.
Anybody else?
Just a note before we go on about the jewelry hanging. I do have a really nice way to do that, as well as Jackie's idea sounds great. But if you get those thread holders, the wooden thread holders you can get at Joann's.
Yes.
Sometimes they have they have their own stand with them as well. So you don't utilize the stand. I spray painted mine, so much to your surprise, but spray painted it white. And then I hung that again in this closet, and you can hang all your jewelry from there because, it has the spokes where the threads would go through.
What a good idea.
And it's very easy to hang. They have little hooks in the back, or you can just put 2 nails on either side and sit it right on top.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. That's another little life gadget that makes your life better.
Gadget repurpose.
And I'm going to give a company a plug because I use all of their products and I absolutely love them. Norwex. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
Norwex are cleaning tools. Like I love their large dust mop, and it has a dust mop, and then it also has a wet mop, and it's like a whole little system, but it's infused with silver, and silver is cleaning and antibacterial. Mm-hmm. They have when I don't do this, I have a friend who cleans for me. If she's going to do my windows, she just uses water with this one rag and then polishes it with a polishing rag. And again, they're just infused with this silver, and they're very safe. And I'm not using a lot of chemicals. And literally, all of my mirrors and my windows just sparkle.
Wow.
So if you can get a hold of, you can look up Norwex. If you don't know who to contact, email me. Go on my blog. I have a site where I have a little place where you can send me an email, and I will send you a link to my fabulous Norwex person, Debbie.
Oh, wonderful.
But every product I've tried, they even have like a cloth that's an eye makeup remover. And it works.
Oh, so you can only get it through a representative?
Yes,
but it works.
I love it. They have changed my life.
Wow, it's like a secret club too.
Yeah.
Well, there's something I'm so excited about that I don't have yet, but I really, really, really want. It's on my wish list. And that is a projector for your phone. So you can watch movies from your phone on the wall. Isn't that amazing?
I'm really interested in this.
That's so cool. How big does the movie? It's like a tiny drive-in movie.
Right. So it says it'll go up to about 100 inches would be still a good quality.
Wow.
Yes. And you're supposed to be about 8 feet from the wall. Mm-hmm. I found it on Amazon. I'll link to it. It's about this. It's just a little bit bigger than your phone. But here's the thing, because when we're at our farm, we don't have Wi-Fi. So if we watch a movie, I can watch it on my phone, or I can watch it I can use my phone as a hotspot, and we can watch it on my laptop. But although I have unlimited data, I don't have unlimited data on my hotspot. So we watch a movie, and then boom, that's my allowance for the month. We can only watch basically one movie per weekend. Uh-huh.
But you have it on your phone.
But I can watch unlimited on my phone. So with this projector, we could have a whole day of movies. We can just make popcorn and watch movies. So I'm really excited to try it.
Anita, how fun would this be? Just to grab, we've done this before. We have a bunch of people. I didn't do it. My friend Loretta did, and showed movies on the side of their house where you hang a sheet and you could do, that would be so easy to do.
Oh, yes. That would be so
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Put that in the show notes. I may ask for that. Maybe for Mother's
and it's less.
Day. That would be a good Mother's Day.
The one I saw was less than $100. So anyway, I don't know. Yeah. So I'll link to it.
Wow. And so did your phone go inside of it?
No, it sits. I think it just plugs into it.
Oh, okay. A more on the phone and all of that business, there's these great little charging stations. Peter just got me one for my Apple Watch, my phone, and my AirPods. And they're all they're all contained in this one little unit. And it's fantastic.
Is that the ones you lay down, your like phone down on?
No, but that's another great thing.
Oh, okay.
The charging pad, which is even, it's step up because it's wireless.
Okay.
So
Wow.
yeah, I think all those things, because there's just too many wires in my life. So when I can eliminate the wires, I think that's terrific. And I did just mention the AirPods. I was hesitant to have the AirPods. I love the AirPods. Those are the ones if you have an Apple phone where
they're wireless.
They're wireless and you just put them in. And
Bluetooth.
I tell you, I've been in New York twice in the last 10 days in Manhattan. I think everyone's had them surgically implanted because every single person has those that are walking around.
And who knows how many people might be listening to decorating tips. And
Well, I
tricks with
stopped
them.
and asked a lot of them. What were they listening to? Are you listening to DTT?
Well, you should be asking them. Yes, tell them. Well, here's the thing too. I listen to podcasts, not hours, while I'm going to sleep. And so I use it's a different brand, but I have wireless Bluetooth earbuds that I use with my Android phone. But for sleeping, there's actually a headband you can get with the speakers built in.
Yes, I actually just saw that.
So you can do it
Wow.
while you're working out. They stay on real well. Because
Yeah.
sometimes those pop out of your ears. So the headband, but also if I'm having in my ears, you can't sleep on that side if you have that in your ear. So, but with the headband, you can.
So do you fall asleep with them in your ear still?
Oh yeah, every night.
And then you wake up and they're in your ear?
No, I'll kind of wake up and then I pull it out.
Gotta
It's on the
find
floor.
where they are.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
I don't think I could do that.
No, I have Bose, and my Bluetooth Bose earbuds, and I love them. That was my birthday gift last year from my husband. I have it with something that makes my life so much easier. Have you ever heard of a tower garden?
Oh.
A tower
Hydroponic gardening?
Yes, aquaponic actually. I have one, and you can actually do it inside. Now, my daughter-in-law has one, and she has the lights, and they grow spinach and basil and kale and all kinds of things all year long down in their basement. Mine came from Juice Plus, and I grow things from April till frost out in my tower garden, and I keep it on my patio, which makes, I have a big vegetable garden, but oh my goodness, I think some of the veggies taste so much better from this. And it's just this, you can stack it however high, and you put these little pods that have dirt. So some kind of growing medium in them, and seedlings, and they start growing, and it's perfect. Like you could do it if you just had like an apartment patio, it would be perfect on there.
Wow.
So I
cool.
have so much.
And you keep yours
fun.
outside, even in the winter?
No, not in the winter. We bring
okay.
it in, but we have enough room in our basement. I think I'm going to get the lights for it and start growing some of my own aquaponic organic vegetables all winter long.
Do you have to water it, or is it something
Yes,
else?
you do. There's a water source. You have to have a water source, and it literally like percolates up to the top and then drips down to the bottom, feeding all. And you have a solution you put into nutrients to feed the plants. But it is, it's amazing. And the things you can grow on it are just so beautiful.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So if you like to garden and don't have the space, or just love to garden, or want fresh produce all winter long, you just can't believe the produce that can make with the grow light.
Well, speaking of gardening, a good pair of gardening gloves makes me very happy. And I've tried all sorts of gardening gloves. And if you're a gardener, you know some are too stiff. You can't feel anything. Sometimes I just tear them off and I end up using my hands. But I have found a brand that I really, really love. It is called Guardian Angel. And I think it's made by Boss, because sometimes you'll see it, Boss Guardian Angel. So BOSS. And it's the woman's glove. And it has a nitrile fiber or a nitrile grip. And so it really feels great. You can really feel the plants. And what I really like is that
Wow.
the the wrist bit goes a little bit higher. So if I have my Apple Watch on or
nice.
it covers it,
Mhm.
which is nice, or, just sort of protects your wrist a little higher, and it's not too snug, but you're not getting dirt in there. Sometimes the ones that have the Velcro and then they kind of flange out a little bit, I find that the dirt gets inside them, and then I have to try to pull the glove off, and then I'm putting, probably sticking a finger of a glove in my mouth and it has dirt on it, and I'm pulling the glove off, right? Like it's just like a mess, right?
Sure.
So these are fantastic. And really one of the best parts about them is they're less than $6.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So they sell them at my local Armstrongs, but they also sell them online. I'm sure I've seen them at a couple of different places. So I'll find a link and put them in the show notes, but they're pretty easy to find. So if you have a local garden center, you might be able to find them there right on the shelf, and you can try on small, medium, large, and see. And they also make extra small, which a lot of the gardening gloves do not come extra small.
Well, I have 2 kitchen ones I want to throw out there.
Okay.
Because these are, one is one I use all the time, and that's an immersion blender. I love my immersion blender.
I do too, Anita.
Have you started using one?
All the time. Well, I have. I've used it for.
I thought you used
years.
The other kind of blender.
I do use my Vitamix too.
Okay.
But it just depends on what I need to mix. But if I have like a big bowl of marinara and I've got fresh, that I've cut apart, even canned whole tomatoes, I just go to town, or when I'm making soups and things like that.
Yeah, and I use it for my smoothies, so I just get that big quart Mason. I guess it's not even. Yeah, maybe.
See, that's what I don't use it for. I think that's so smart.
So you just put that in there and you kind of rinse it off. It's a lot easier than cleaning your whole big blender. I use it all the time for that. And the other one, I don't have this yet, but I've been hearing great things about it. And I'm going to try one of these because we are in Texas. So guacamole is serious business here.
Here too, in California.
Yes, we all have our own guacamole recipes. And we love Miss Hattie's guacamole. And Evie is a guacamole fanatic. And this thing is supposed to keep it from getting brown on the top.
Oh, wow.
It's called the guac lock. So I'm going to
try I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm writing this down. I can't even wait for it to get the show notes.
And I love guacamole. And this is so funny. I don't like avocado.
Oh, what? No,
I know. No, truly. It's a textural thing. But if I would mash it up, I would love it. Isn't that funny?
So Laura, you eat it in guacamole, but not by itself?
I love guacamole. Love.
Okay, well, here's something you can do that will seem like you're eating an avocado. So Laura and she was just in New York with me. We went to New York together, got back last night, and we went to a Cuban restaurant to try something new on Saturday night.
I love Cuban food.
Yeah. So we got a bunch of different appetizers to share and then an entree to share. So this is one of the appetizers. It was a whole avocado, and they had maybe taken off like a quarter of the top. And then they must have scooped it all out, almost like a twice baked potato situation. So they scooped all the insides out. They smushed it all up. There was bacon and some other spices and yummy things and some tomatoes. And
bacon is not a spice.
Yeah. There was bacon and then other things that were interesting and wonderful. Okay. And bacon's not a spice. And Bacos is a spice.
Or you have it on your spice rack if you have.
Yes, you can have it in the spice area. No. Thank you for clearing that up. And they put it all back into the avocado, and then they served it with these root chips, which were really interesting, probably like turnips, made into potato chips sort of things. You guys, it was so delicious, and it was so beautifully presented.
I love that.
We are so excited. And then it had, is it Manchego cheese?
I love
Am I saying that right?
Cheese. Yes, you are.
Melted on the top. We were sort of just deconstructing the whole thing to figure out how we could make it at home.
Oh, I love that.
And so tell me about this guac lock. So do you hermetically seal your guacamole inside of it?
Well, the way it works is it removes all the air. And, we've tried the saran wrap, the seeds,
the citrus,
the pits in there, the lemon juice. None of that works. But this, I think the way you put it in there, you press it down so it removes all air. And that's the secret. And apparently, and I've heard people say it does work. So I
like hermetically sealed.
Okay, all right.
I have another kitchen, and it's a thing that I can't live without, and that's my sous vide. And I think
Oh,
I've talked.
yes. And you use it all the time?
Well, I use it. Yes. I wouldn't
Okay.
say I use it like 3 times a week, but I definitely use it, and I'm using it more and more. And especially if you just want to finish something off in the grill, what a sous vide is just think of putting a big pot of water. And then you're going to take whatever, let's say you've got your chicken and your marinade in a Ziploc bag, and you're going to clip it to the side. So what's the chicken and all that is in the water, but you want to clip it to the side. You don't want your bag spinning around in the water. And a sous vide looks like an immersion blender, actually, but it clips to the side of a pot, and you set the temperature. And so, in other words, let's say if you're going to do boneless, skinless chicken breast with a lot of this such a yummy marinade, it'll cook for 3 hours till it reaches a special temperature. The whole thing will be perfectly cooked. The outside and the inside are the same temperature. It can hold for hours. So you could make it in the morning and hold it like all day. And it still is moist and wonderful, and it's infused with whatever you put in the bag. And then if you want to.
So this would be perfect for parties.
Oh, you can take it out to the grill. My sister, I forget what holiday we were there. There's actually, I'm going to get these, they're like big plastic restaurant containers that she did the sous vide in. She put all of her mashed potatoes in a huge Ziploc bag and just held it. It brought it up to temperature and held it. And they were gorgeous. And a sous vide is not that expensive. And there are so many recipes and things that you can do with it. And I'm a salmon snob. I love a good salmon, but I think people cook it on high and they cook it too long, and it can be a mess. And you can put salmon in a sous vide with maybe like a honey mustard, some kind of glaze. And you sous vide that, and it is absolute perfection.
You're making me hungry.
And I've heard also that a lot of top chefs at top restaurants will use the sous vide, and then they're going to like quickly broil or sear it.
That's so exactly right.
Get that top. Yeah.
When you go to a restaurant and you have the most delicious steak you've ever had in your life, like the most delicious filet mignon, most delicious Delmonico steak, and it's probably been sous vide and then flash cooked in a pan with a little of that sauce over it. Yeah, it is something if you like to cook, definitely look into that.
I know, I'm starving. Okay, and so if you're having a nice dinner, you should probably have flowers at the table. And so one of the little tools and gadgets that I truly use constantly are my floral shears. And I've tried a lot of floral shears. And when I first started designing flowers, I just used my scissors. No. And then you said, oh, well, I should use my pruners. No. And when I really learned how to take care of flowers, I read this great book that this woman wrote. I don't know. And
not My Soulful Home.
Could have been. Oh, maybe that was my book. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I talk a lot in my book about how you care for cut flowers so your flowers last a long time. Well, one of the things is to have a set of really good floral shears because they don't squish the stem, right? So the whole idea is you want to get the water up through the flower. So the floral shears,
I want to know which ones you recommend.
Yeah, so the ones that I recommend are these ones that are about $33. They're Kotobuki Slim Okobos, which is a really interesting name for them, but they are an Asian floral shear, and they're probably derived from like the Ikebana type of style of design, but obviously you can use them for any flowers in any way you want to design them. But they are really nice in a small hand, and they really do the job. So you can find them in my new Amazon shop. So if you read my blog, you might have seen that I started my Amazon shop, finally had its grand opening. So they are listed there, and I will also list them in the show notes. But that's if you enjoy flowers, it's definitely worth the $33 to get a pair of those.
They're going to be on my list.
Well, yeah, me too. I just put it down because I just used kitchen shears this morning to snip the ends off of a couple bunches of tulips. So it sounds like maybe I know. Okay.
Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months.
And here's another one. I have this. This is life changing, especially if you have a pet. I have something called the Bobby Pet, which is a robotic.
Not to be confused with the Bobby husband.
Right. Totally different than the Bobby husband. Because the Bobby husband doesn't like to vacuum.
It's the only thing you won't do. So you got to
really does everything else. Wow.
And he won't clean the garage. Like, hello. I know.
That's such a man thing.
I'm not going to shame him. He does everything else in the world. So I can live with that. But anyway, the Bobby Pet is a robotic vacuum cleaner.
I want that. Would you talk to your Bobby Pet people and tell them to send myself home one of those?
Yes.
I mean, we're giving them so much a free advertisement. And I thought, well, maybe I'll get a robotic. I just like the idea of that. Like, okay, I can just do whatever and I can have my house cleaned. This really works. The only thing I have to do is because I have drapes that are long and puddled on the floor, I have to pick them up because Bobby Pet would like to eat those. And
Bobby Pet's stuck in the drapes again.
Yeah, it is amazing when I think my house is clean, what the Bobby Pet can find. And it goes around with an ultraviolet light, which literally cleans everything. Like it goes from different surfaces to different surfaces.
You mean sanitizes it?
Sanitizes it with an ultraviolet
Anita, let's
light.
get this.
Yeah,
It's better than wiping down your floors with Purell.
It sounds pretty good.
Okay, wait. I did not have Edith, my small new dog, when we first talked about the Bobby Pet. So I was like, oh, Emma doesn't shed. But, Edith does shed. And I see tumbleweed of Edith.
Yeah.
So now, Bobby Pet would take all that away?
They have the regular Bobby robotic cleaner, but then they have the Bobby Pet, which is for pets. But even if you don't have a pet, I think it scrapes up everything.
So let me just ask you, do you let it just run like every day? You're like, oh, there's Bobby Pet.
Yeah, I let it go. And I'm a big I really vacuum my house, my 30
I do too,
minute
much
cleaning.
more than I want to.
Yeah, well, I never do it when I'm not at home because if Bobby Pet would ever get stuck in something, which happens very seldom, you push a button and you back him out and put him where he needs to go. Although I think it's a girl. Isn't BOBBI a girl?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, my Bobby is BOBBI, but I always say it's a him.
Yeah.
And he just runs around and you have these little things you put on the floor. They're not cones, but that's what they're supposed to be for. And they send a signal.
Wait a minute. Should we be offended that Bobby is supposed to be a girl? That the cleaning.
Well, because I think
Sexist.
girls can do anything, and maybe
girls can do anything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
including
anyway,
clean the floors.
Yeah.
I
go to the ball. So it's okay.
Cinderella. Hello.
Yeah, she got my joke.
I did. But anyway, it is so worth the investment. And I saw the prices come down of like everything. And I actually saw it at Bed Bath & Beyond, which I didn't know you could get it there. And it sits with all the other robotic things, but I've never used the others and they may be wonderful, but I can really recommend Bobby Pet. It also can squirt and clean, like squirt water out and mop and dry up the floor.
Stop it. Oh
It's
my gosh.
wonderful.
How much is one of those? Like $1,000?
Well, when I bought, and when it was given to me, it was like $800, but I think the prices come far down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Like, remember with the big screen TV, it was like, this is $20,000.
Yeah,
right?
but-
Now you can get them at Costco
But
for like,
if
what,
I-
400?
But there's some things you bought, if you knew, I would have bought it for that back then because that's how good I think that this product is and how much, it goes from my hardwood floors, it goes up to my sisal rugs and it doesn't have an attack. It goes over my sisal rug and my zebra hide in my living room and it's fine.
Wow.
You
I'm
have
gonna
to set it.
investigate.
You have to set it for, what it is.
Okay.
Mhm. And then it finds its home and it docks itself to recharge.
Wow. Okay, I'm totally intrigued. I'm going to go check that out.
Hey, Mother's Day is coming. That's sort of a
okay. Shame on anyone if they buy me a vacuum.
Who wants to get something to clean with? But it's that good.
Well, yeah, but actually it would be, so you're not having to do it yourself. Here's something that's also been intriguing to me. In Blogland, we've been able to connect, obviously. Look at our friendship and all the other ladies that we've met. But in podcast land, it's harder, I think, to just meet other podcasters. So I had an opportunity recently to meet another podcaster sort of accidentally. And this gentleman is so lovely. His name is John Hagedorn. And he has several podcasts, at least 3 that I know of, that have been long running. And I just want to give a little shout out to John's podcast. One is 1001 Heroes, Legends, Histories, and Mysteries. And I listened to a couple of those. One was on Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the movie. And so what the whole backstory of that and whether Steven Spielberg was sort of involved, it was leaked information because how did he know certain things that were in the movie? And Roswell was involved. So if you like anything like that, and then he'll have something completely, different topic. There was another one I listened to all about the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra and the whole crew.
Yeah.
I found that so interesting. And he's got a 3-part series on them, but he covers so many different heroes, legends, histories, and mysteries and there seems to be countless number of podcasts. Then he has another one, 1001 Short Stories, which I have not listened to yet, but I looked at the lineup and I could read great. And he's narrating you these short stories. And then another one for podcasts for the road. Well, what a great time to listen to podcasts when you're driving, especially if you're going long
after
distances.
you've listened to all of our podcasts.
Of course, after you've listened to all ours. But, his are more story related and, not tips and things like that. So if you're enjoying the whole medium of podcasts, now that I do so much, I love hearing about other podcasts that are good and worth your time. So I would definitely recommend that you give 1001 Heroes, Legends, Histories, and Mysteries, as well as 1001 Short Stories and Podcasts for the Road, a listen. And we will link to John's podcast in the show notes.
Oh, that sounds so interesting. When you were telling me about the one The very first one, I thought, ooh, that sounds like something I'd love to listen to.
Oh yeah, so fun. And so I mean, I learned a lot of things that I didn't know or wouldn't even imagined by listening just to those two. And there's so many different ones. So yeah, give it a try. Wow, I have so many new. Maybe I am going to become a gadget girl. I don't know, but I mean, today there were so many things that I really am intrigued by that I think could make my life better. Thanks for sharing those, girls. So, hope you got some interesting products to think about or ways to make your life easier with a little tool or a little gadget today. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time. Hey, everybody. We want to thank you so much for listening to Decorating Tips and Tricks. And we want to make it even easier for you to listen. And it's easier if you subscribe. You just click the subscribe button on our website, www.decoratingtipsandtricks.com, or you can subscribe through Apple Podcast or any of your favorite podcast listeners. When you subscribe, DTT comes free right to you 3 days a week. So until next time.